initiative, okay, the program. Okay, so frankly speaking, I went to the China Belt and Road as well last year. So basically, that one is more towards the biomass sharing. Okay, so that one also about 2 weeks as well. Okay, so basically today, the topics that I'm going to share with you here are basically talking about the role of digital transformation in engineering management. So the keyword here is actually we are talking about transformation. So when we talk about transformation, so basically one of the first thing that must come into our mindset is actually, do we have the mindset to change or not first? Okay, because sometimes when we sit at the same place, actually when you come to the comfort zone, sometimes you are reluctant to change. Okay, so that's why if let's say you want to improve yourself, definitely you want to change. So it's talking about the willingness as well. Okay, and also your adaptation, how much you can adapt to change. Okay, so of course, I'm from Utah. Okay, so this is my background. So basically, I'm the professional engineers as well, registered under the Board of Engineers in Malaysia. So my name is Dr. Tan Rui Kwat. So in short form, I think more easier you call me OK Tan. Oh, everything okay. That's why my boss no need to ask me, hey, okay, Tan, you want to do this or not? Never. Okay, ready you. So I got no chance to say no, okay, because everything has to be okay. So I registered under the Board of Engineer. So I'm the professional engineer and also professional technologist as well. Okay, so along the whole session, I'm talking about the transformation. Transformation is not saying that when you come to this position, only you change. Actually, at the beginning, the time, we all are start changing already. Okay. For myself also, if let's say my first transformation, okay, just go for simple one, introduction a little bit. Okay, so actually, I'm from one of a very outskirts school, far away from Kuala Lumpur. Okay, so I learned about my primary school. Then I go to my secondary school. Actually, I'm from arts stream. Okay, arts stream means that I don't have background in chemistry, physics, right, and maths. Okay, then afterwards, I go to my diploma in civil engineering. Okay, civil engineering, an art stream student studying civil engineering. How you feel? Easy or not? Oh, I can tell you, it's almost, that's why you see my hair also no more already. So, of course, the time why I go to the civil is because my parents, my father, he's a contractor also. So that time he keep influencing me. Civil engineering good or this. So okay, no choice there. Although I'm from a art stream, I try my best get into the civil engineering. So of course, I have to work harder than others. Okay. Then afterwards, I go to my degree in civil engineering. So there is one transformation here. Okay, upstream to engineering. Then I go to my master in business technopreneurship. Hey, engineering suddenly become the technopreneur, right? So another change again. Then I have the knowledge, but my technopreneur basically is majoring in the technopreneurship. Okay, then afterwards, another new business admin, engineering management. Okay, so that's why when you ask me the time, I can tell you all the things. You want me in the business, you want me to talk about civil, talk about techno, talk about business, everything can. Okay, so that is how the first transformation, first change of my life. Okay, so when it comes to the second, okay, so basically this one come to work already. So I finished my degree, okay, civil engineer, oh, wonderful. I become the CNS engineer. That is our dream always. Hey, I finished my civil. I believe that beginning when you come to work, especially for those engineers, you always think, I want to be the design engineer. I want to work in the consultant, isn't it? But of course, that time me also the same. So I work as a CNS consultant. Then afterwards, 2 years later, of course, in CNS consultant, I'm so lucky. That time, Malaysia just started with RC wall design. Okay, so I don't know what is RC wall, then I have to start to find out how to do the RC wall. Okay, so in that time, about 30 years ago, I disclose my age already. So 30 years ago, when you talk about RC, it's talking about something like can fly already, you know. If let's say you can manage to design for one project RC, in the market, I can tell you want to find a job, no, very easy already. Okay, just started. I still remember that time my company was the first company doing this design in Malaysia. So we are considered as a pioneer. Okay, yeah, so I do the design. Then afterwards, M&E engineer. CNS become M&E engineer. So of course, it needs an opportunity and also my willingness as well to change. Of course, why I managed to go is because that time my uncle, he's the electrical contractor. So basically, he want to find people to help him also. So that's why he asked me to join him. So very funny is I'm from, even though in cables, electrical, I believe that here engineer, you have red, yellow, blue cable, isn't it? Right? I don't know what is red, yellow, blue at all. I thought the material different. That's it. And from that zero idea, okay, the zero knowledge, until I know how to draw the schematic diagram. I can do the calculation afterwards. Then afterwards, I shift again, become project coordinator. I joined the main contractor. So that time I have the experience in CNS, M&E, architecture. Then I look over for the whole project under the project coordinator. Okay, then afterwards, HR manager. Yes, HR and admin manager. See how a big group, CNS, M&E, then top HR and admin manager. But you can see I got the gap of 2 years. Where I went within these 2 years. So actually, when I working here at the time, and I continue my my doctorate study. So quite tough. 2010 actually I quit. Okay, then my boss said, "Why you want to quit?" I told him, "Sorry, I cannot focus in my study." So you know what my boss said? "You are not allowed to quit. I give you 1 year unpaid leave. You finish, you come back." Okay, then I go study. Then 1 year cannot finish. And it took me 2 years. My boss, "After 2 years, you still not yet finished. You still don't want to come back. I'm going to terminate you." Then I have to come back. Once come back, I said, "Hey, you got the background, right? Hey, you studying business. Okay, I put you as a HR and admin manager." Okay, so it's quite lucky because I can move from here, here, and here. Okay, so it's another transformation. Then lastly, now I become the academic. So that's why I can do some sharing here. So actually, what I'm trying to share here is actually how you're going to change yourself, how you're going to adapt. Okay, your willingness. Okay, if let's say I just only focus into the engine, CNS, of course, you will see here, I will have a very vast knowledge in the CNS only. Okay, so that's why, of course, when it comes to now, I have the experience in doing the consultant research development. Actually, I give a talk for the Safran, the Blue Corp. This Safran is actually the company where they produce, you know, the aeroplane disc brake, right? Disc brake is not talking about our car disc brake size. It's talking about huge size of disc brake. Okay. Then afterward, Blue Scope, mostly doing the roofing. Then I give the talk into the humans, this health and safety, QAQC, motivation, technical, and so on. I also involved in the different workshop and team buildings as well. Okay, and also I got visited. This one is my last year. I went to the China, okay, for the this biomass training. And afterward, I went to China. The site got one site visit as well, and the Longi also, and so on. So this one is a seminar in the China, the site. Okay, so the whole idea is actually talking about change, transformation, adaptation. How willingness that you want to change. Okay, so this will be the whole content. I'm going to look into evolutions. What's the meaning of digital transformation? What's the challenges? What's the role, key concept, future? And then I will conclude for the whole topic for today. Of course, I would love to have a 2 session of the interaction as well. So if you don't mind, certainly I walk to your place and then I will ask you question. Is it fine for you? Okay, thank you very much. Okay. So you see, when we talk about transformation, okay, we can't run away since, I think it's already started since many years ago, back to 17th century, when you talk about first evolution. So we are talking about the steam machine, right? Steam machine. Okay, so of course it will still need people who willing to change, willing to transform. Otherwise, you also cannot see this thing also. Right? So it's the mindset. Like now I'm sitting here. Yes, you came here, you attend about 2 weeks of the training. After that, you go back. What do you want to do? I know I'm handsome. Don't look at me like this. So you must see what are the things that suits you. Right, I can tell you, last time when I attend for whatever training, of course, every time when I sit here, the time I can tell you later, 20 minutes later, you guys will start. Or your eye will open a bit and close back, isn't it? But still, they definitely got some things to learn. Like this morning, I think Dr. Jeffrey, Prof. Jeffrey sharing with you his presentation, very interesting, isn't it? Then we can learn in the presentation skills. Right, it's one thing to learn as well. There is something new, something that you can change. Definitely, there must have one thing to learn. Of course, you don't learn from me, okay? My hair not many already. Because you learn from me, okay, to drop my hair, then it's not good thing. Or I'm not handsome anymore. But of course, you still admire me, that is okay, no problem. Okay? Yeah. So change. Of course, there might have the people willing to change. That's why evolution, the second evolution came in, right? Go to the mass productions, then we're talking about all the things we produce in a large volume. Okay, of course, you can't see all these diagrams because I add on afterwards. Because why? Otherwise, I put in right then the whole thing will be very messy. Okay, so so this one. Anyone come across this computer before? Oh, luckily I still got so many, it's under my generation. Okay, so you see, in the third revolution, we're talking about the automation. The time we use this computer. Okay, the time before this, we still can find this. My time start is actually with this floppy disk already. I'm very lucky, not too old, also not too new. Okay, floppy disk. Okay, then now I believe that many using the pen drive. Or now, you still use pen drive or not? Still, no. Some yes, some no. Why? Why you don't use pen drive anymore? Oh, I can get it. I got it in my computer already, isn't it? Actually, yesterday I made a mistake also. Actually, I also quite traditional. I use a pen drive. I save it, but I forget I leave it in my office. Luckily, yesterday, I already see it saved under my cloud, my Google Drive. So I just plug, then I get my this PowerPoint slides today. Okay, so these are all the changes. Regardless you like or you don't like, you have to change. No choice. Right? If let's say now I tell you, hey, after this 3 hours later, 5 o'clock, class finished. Hey, you walk back home. You cannot use car. You come with what? You use car. So later you walk back. You don't want to change, you walk back. Or I give you a horse, you ride back. Right? So no choice. You don't change, the world still keep moving. So at the end, you still have to change. Okay. So that's why that is where industrial 3 start. Then industrial 4 starts. Go back. Okay, so industrial 4 come back, digitalizations. Okay, it's talking about digital transformations. Okay, it's talk about AI, big data, and so on. Okay, we talk about the machines. Okay, and we talk about the visual. This is called what? The visual, you wear the goggle, and then you can visualize, and then you can actually feel like you are touching something. Then afterward, you come to the IR5. This is quite new. I'm wondering whether you heard about this or not. Because towards the IR5, it's talking about the human-centric already. Human-centric is something like, yes, you collect all the data already. You put into your computer, put into the system can run already. But the system may not know what you want. But when you come to this system, okay, when you come to IR5, okay, or industrial 5 the type, basically, the machine itself will know what you want and it will start to process. But of course, during that time, I don't know, the time will be another Terminator 2 Terminator 3 comes in or not. You watch Terminator, right? So that time we need a time machine to go back again to demolish all the things. Otherwise, that time will be all the machine ready. Okay. Yeah. So these are some of the evolutions. Oh, sorry. So this just a quick one. Okay. So this is different within 3 and 4 only. So basically, with one, oh my wording will change. Okay. So within 3 and 4. Okay. So when we talk about 4, it's talking about machine work without an integration. When we talk about 3, it's talking about the era of using the cyber physical system only. Okay, so this is the 5. This one I will go a bit faster. Okay, because I just get notice that I have to cut short a little bit of today's session so that later you still have 2 candidates to do the presentation. Okay, so allow me to go a little bit faster. Okay, yeah. So 5. So this is for some information only, so human-centric. So when we talk about industrial 4, basically this one is already comes to the digital transformation. So what are we going to transform? Of course, we are going to transform ourselves as the first thing. Secondly, when we talk about digital, it's actually we are combining all these things into one. Okay, you're combining your cloud computing, right? Plug that I can use. That argument, okay, you put into the system can help you to run the information up already. Okay, big data, cybersecurity. Anyone don't use cybersecurity? Everyone knows about cybersecurity, right? Even though when you want to take money, you want to transfer money, okay, the system will help you to detect, synchronize all the things, whether the data is valid or not. Okay. Otherwise, later he plug in your computer, chop, your money gone. So you need all these things. Okay. Then you have robots, integration, and so on. So you have to combine all this together. Okay. Of course, later on they still have many things. Your one handphone. Now, any one of you don't have handphone or have. If let's say now I say that, hey, I take away your handphone. What's going to happen? And she will cry. Oh, cannot. It's my life, the handphone, isn't it? So the whole world has changed. And nowadays, you still say that you don't have handphone with you. The handphone is something like your workplace. Anywhere you go, also one handphone on hand, you can do everything. So no choice, you have to move. You don't want to move? Yes, still got one more place to go. Jungle. Oh, yeah. So that's why these are the movement from previous until now. So you start with the analog, then you move to digitization. Digitization is whereby you do the data collection, and then you use the data to do the simple analysis, only. Then afterwards, when you come to digitalization, you are using the data to and get more resources from other places. Okay, like for example, now I say that, okay, I want to know in this Malaysia, how many people willing to use handphone? Okay, so I get the population from Malaysia only. But if I want to sell my handphone to the world, I need to get the data not only in Malaysia, I need more places, the whole world. Then how am I going to for that? Then I have to use this already. My one click, then I can start to collect data. Then you will able to do the analysis to know, hey, China, how many population will use your handphone, your brain? Indonesia, how many brands? Okay, Vietnam, how many brands, etc. So you get the record on your hand. And what's the purpose of all this record? Just a record. Then to tell you that, oh, there are so many people to use. So is there any business opportunity or not? Then you will move to here. This is where comes in nowadays, whereby you use the digital transformation method to get all the data, analyze the relevance data, transform it, become a business. I believe that all of you have Facebook, right? Got Facebook, right? Do you buy anything? When you go to Facebook, you see something, did you buy click in to see something and then you want to buy? A lot of advertisement, isn't it? Right? But surprise, you click one time. Let's say now you click. Let's say you see let's say cosmetic product. Oh, very nice. You click in. You see later how many same information comes to you, right? And yes, you say it's cookies. If let's say I'm the businessman, I will say that is not cookies anymore. That is where this comes in, because Facebook is already read your needs. They know what you want. Okay, then they get all the info from the cloud already. Then it will start to blast the info out. They can detect what your one click, he can detect where are you, what you liked. So that's why once you click the time, they know what is your interest anymore. So this is the way how you see nowadays people making business by using Facebook. Of course, I'm not talking too much in the Facebook. Okay, so that will be another thing. Otherwise, I cannot finish. So just give you some idea of that, how it works. So that's why the whole things have moved. It becomes a business, the creation business. Okay. So that's why in the transformations, okay, we're actually talking about how we look into the technologies, infrastructure, okay, then we move into the digital process, and then how we create into the business. So when all this comes together, so that is what we call it as the transformation, the digital transformation. Okay, yeah. So this wants to give you some of the idea, because this topic is talking about engineering management. I try to link it with the engineering management as well. Okay, so when we talk about engineering management, it's actually a transformation. Last time, this is quite a new term. Engineering management is about within this 10 to 15 years that use about this term. So what is actually about engineering management? Those times we have project manager, product manager, sales manager, isn't that all very specific, right? So suddenly they come with a engineering management manager. So basically, these people not only looking into technical or products, but it looking into the human resources as well. Okay. Another way is like you as a project manager, isn't it? You're more looking into the technical part. But once it comes to the engineering, so you have to look into the human resources as well. So it's a big change on that. You are no longer looking into one specific thing. Okay, yeah. So these are some of the, so you must, Okay, so that's why we need to know where is our stand right now. So still, the whole topic I'm talking about transformation. Okay, so am I still want to make myself in one position only, or I want to change to become another person? Still is our willingness to do that, right? So these are some of the challenges that facing, especially in the engineering management nowadays. One is actually we're talking about the efficiencies of the project planning and execution side. Okay, I believe that most of you, if let's say you are from, whether you are the safety officers or the project managers, or I believe here we have a QA/QC department, finance department, tendering department, right? I still have many, right? I think some of you are project engineers, project managers. I have directors here as well, right? Yeah. So all we have to look into the project. Of course, you compare with the previous project difficulty and project difficulty nowadays. Are they still the same? No. What are the things different?
So, relevant to my part of the work, we are changing. There are new R&Ds that are working at the R&D, but it's to change the design specification, and labor and workers are not skilled at relevant to that specification.
So they keep changing, especially in the specifications, right? So that is one of the part also, because the always got new things comes in. Okay. So other than that, do you aware that those times when you want to build a 40-story building, how many months you need? I think the fastest also you need about 36 months, isn't it? 36 months. But today, how many months you need? 18 months. 18 only. Do you know China take how long to complete?
It depends. It's RCC or.
So, yes, you are right. So just imagine all the things are changing. So, you still want to stand at the same place, or you have to move? Your company need to get the project, only get survive, right? Like just now, Prof. Yap sharing with us, right? The company hire us is to help the company to generate money, to solve the problem. If I cannot solve, definitely I have to leave, isn't it? So same thing. That's why when we talk about engineering management nowadays, when we talk about the challenges, all is talking about how efficiencies that you can help the company to run the project, to save the money, okay, to complete the work on time. Project management always talk about on time, right? Then reduce the costing, okay, especially how you're going to reduce all the mismanagement, the error, okay, mistake, and so on. Right? Then afterward, how you make the decisions when you want to carry out something. Are you only do the decision based on your own opinion? Then how you prove that your opinion is absolute correct? You're not using the data, isn't it? So we have to base on the data to do the analysis. Okay. So lastly, this one I think the most important nowadays is actually talking about the communications. Okay, like just now you see, Prof. Yap also sharing with us is about the communication, about the interaction, how you communicate in the team. Okay, this is always the crucial part. Okay, so you can see when we talk about engineering management, it's a combination about the engineering and also the human input. Yeah. So, okay, so a quick one. So this one I need a participation. So I believe that you comes from a different countries, right? So I believe that you might be the person helping your boss to do the hiring or interview people, isn't it? So do you face any problems or not, especially for those after the means at 2000 onwards? Means that now there should be about 20 years old. It's a new batch. It's okay. Oh, really? Too handsome. So you like them in terms of what? Yeah, that's a good thing. Other than that, any things that you faced before? Hiring for the 00, those about 20 years old. Yes, Mr. Duang. Yeah, I know Mr. Duang is a director. I believe that you hire a lot of people. How you feel about the current youngster?
I think they are very active and for the it's like and and
The way they want to get the information, the finding the information will be faster, isn't it? Because they adapt into the technology as well.
yes, yes, and Edison they speak very in language.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, all good things only, no bad thing. Really, all good thing. One bad thing. Okay, let's listen from a bad side. What do you think? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. Because you agreed already. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, very good sharing from two. Okay. Yes, you are right. Okay. Actually, you look into the current, I mean, those youngsters, they want to get information very fast, right? You one click now, handphone. You ask them put their handphone one side. No need too long. You ask them put 1 hour aside on it. You see what's happened. They start the first 5 minutes, they still can sit like this. Later on, they see they will start with it. They keep looking for the handphone. You ask them sit for 1 hour, I tell you half of their life missing already. So that is how the whole thing works. Okay, so that's why we need to know what is actually they want nowadays, right? So like just now we have a good thing is because they when they want to find the info very fast because they know and then they got all the info from the cloud already. But one good thing, one bad thing is actually there is no longer as honest as those time, like our time, right? Every time when we work, the time we will also I work in this company, I have to be loyal. I hope that I will work for my whole life, isn't it? You ask the youngster now, hey, how long you want to work? I think I will work for 1 year only, then afterward I will change. Then where you want to go? I don't know yet. I change first, then I will see how. Some is more, is much better. They will tell, oh, I resign first. I go travel for 3 months first, then only I come back to work. Very rich. So no choice, all this. True. We can't stop. All this definitely changing. So as a manager, like people who are hiring for this group of people, we cannot use our old style to recruit people anymore. Otherwise, I can tell you cannot get the people at all. Isn't it? I still remember there was one time when I was the HR manager in the company that time. Okay, so it's very funny, this person. When he come to interview the time, then I ask you, about all these conditions, do you agree or not? You know what I mean? I will ask my mom first. This position, then afterward I ask you, okay, so this position, okay, we give you this position as the engineer, project engineer. Would you agree for that? I asked my mom first. So at the end, I asked her back. So do I need to interview your mother first? Then no, you got no choice. Sometimes all these things happen, frankly speaking. And there was one time, okay, my friend, when he came to the interview, this one is really a joke. The mother come together for the interview. So a lot of things changed. Okay, especially after MCO, a lot of things changed already. That's why if you talk about today's topic, transformation, before MCO and after MCO, I can tell you the whole world already expedite or shortened for 10 years already, moving towards the transformations. We will see how it works. Okay, so these are all the impact from the engineering. If let's say we don't move, so it might cause us decrease in your productivity, the budget overrun, okay, the error in safety. I believe that here we have a safety officer. Might be Malaysia's conditions in overseas a bit different. Malaysia, actually, we are very, nowadays, is very particular about the safety. That's why it become a cost in our tendering. Those times we don't put a safety requirement, okay, or the budget into the tender at all. But now it becomes a compulsory already. Okay, so the whole thing always change. Okay, so of course, if we look into long term, of course, we must always think of how we can come with a new idea, how we move together with the digitalization, the changes, okay, so that we can move ourselves into another new era. Just like something like now, I ask you, don't use your handphone anymore. Oh, all of you will get crazy. Because why? My girlfriend called me. My girlfriend say, why you so late not yet reply me? Then you problem already. Then later you go back, then you get problem. Okay. Then also the competitiveness in the industry. And lastly is the staffing, like I shared with you just now. Okay. So that's why you see, if you want to do change, transformations, okay, when we talk about transformations, of course, we want to move from one side to another side, isn't it? And we want to move ourselves, become someone different. Of course, if let's say now today I'm a safety officer, I hope that in future I become the project manager also. But how am I going to move over that? So if let's say I don't change myself, definitely I will always be the safety officer. Like just now I share with you, I'm CNS, M&E, then project, then I become the HR manager. That's why I can talk. Or now become academician. So how are you going to change? How are you going to position yourself? Okay, so all is about our mindset, whether we want to change, our willingness as well. So this is how we work from typically becomes now is talking about the digital. Okay. So of course, these are the good things. If let's say we move over, okay, so you can do the project tracking, improve collaboration, and so on. This one later on we will have more things to discuss. Okay. So still we are talking about transformations, right? So maybe I can chat with you. Okay, let's think about one of the keywords. Okay, the keywords in a project or an experience where you have played a role in transforming a process, system, or approach in the construction or engineering. Or business, it's fine. You can write something about business, or safety, you can write something about safety. Okay, so how did it impact you? For example, writing letter. How you write letter nowadays? Yes. So fine, then you can say, you can write one keyword letter, then you can say that, okay, I transform in terms of my writing letter, how I use ChatGPT to write. Okay, in terms of meeting, how I use Zoom meeting. Okay, I think China, they will use a different platform. Okay, like my university, we are using the Microsoft Teams. So I transform, I change the way of meeting. Why I need to change? Because I have to cater for more different classes. Okay, or might be I'm in overseas, then you are in another site, then I can use Zoom meeting for interaction for the discussion. Isn't it? So it actually cuts short the period. Okay, the distance, then you can have the meetings together. So what do you think? What are the things that you change up to date? Any keywords you can think about that? Or you want to write down and then you show me? Any keywords that you have, the things that you have changed, you have get some improvement. Yes, gentlemen? No, safety. Yes. What is the new change in safety nowadays? Yes, one of the things. What's the purpose of face recognition? You enter to the site, you let everybody go in. No, right? Only those relevant person can only go in. So that is one of the changes as well. How about your tendering? I believe that there are some of you are involving in the contract and tendering, isn't it? How you do tender nowadays? Yes, you are right now talking about e-submission. Those times we still have to one thick document, you have to fill in, no day, no night, you fill until finish. Then next day, tomorrow, 8 o'clock, you have to drive your car, carry all the big bundle, go to the developer office, and then submit, drop. Headache, traffic jam, right? 12 o'clock close. Now I'm 11:30 already. I only reached to some place which is still far away. I don't know whether I can rush it or not. Isn't it? So you like or you don't like, also you have to change already. I believe that now a lot of companies in Malaysia, they already changed to e-submission. One of it last time I involved is actually under the Genting group. The tendering now all is e-submission, no more hard copy anymore. Okay, so yeah, so this is how we move ourselves. Oh, what time ready? Okay, so maybe we take a short break a while, then we come back. Is it okay? Okay, yeah. Yeah, we will have a 10 minutes break, then we continue back. Yeah. Okay, so maybe we have to start already. Okay, so yeah, so just now we actually looking about some of the concepts. Okay, so about the engineering management. Okay, so now importantly is what actually the engineering managers are actually doing. The pointer is not working. Okay, so that's why you see when we talk about the role of engineering managers, okay, in traditional ways, you can notice that it's quite similar as a project manager as well. Of course, when you talk about project managers, it's not only looking into construction. Even though if let's say you're working in the software, okay, software company, also they will use the terms called project managers. when you involve in one project. Okay, so of course, as a manager, you can't away yourself of doing the project planning and execution, tendering works, okay, and then doing all these scheduling, okay. You must have the technical oversight, how you're going to foresee all the works, okay, technically, especially most of you are from the construction as well, okay, so you technically sound, okay, when we see something happen at the project site, how you're going to overcome the issue, okay, especially when you come to the construction, like when you do the formwork and casting, right? Then you have to tie all your beam together, and suddenly there's one place is whereby it cannot match. Then on the spot you have to give a technical solution, isn't it? So this one definitely it needs the expertise, the engineers to give the solution. That's where we call it as a technical oversight. Of course, as an engineers, as an engineering manager, when we talk about resource management, it's how you're going to find all these resources. Okay, finding resources is not talking about only find the resource about your material. It includes many things, right? Like you see, let's say in construction, I have to source about my materials, steel bars, cement, sand aggregate, the concrete, where it's going to supply from, right? And then my formwork, the labels, or you work without labels cannot, right? You need to have the labels also. Okay. If let's say you build those high-rise building, you need tower crane, right? You need tower crane. Where you source the tower crane from? Okay, I still remember there was one time there's one project in, I can't remember KL or Johor already. So they have to ship the tower crane from China to Malaysia, okay, because that project belongs to one of the China company as well. So question comes, the tower crane that sent from China to Malaysia, is it compliant to Malaysian's requirement or not? So if not compliant to Malaysian's requirement, so what you need to do? Order a new one. Modify it. How you modify? Yes, so that's one of the way doing the modifications. Another way, if let's say the project is too rushed, then you got no choice. Then you have to search from Malaysia, the local markets already, isn't it? So you as a managers, of course, you have to know all this, how to move. So need experience as well. Okay, so that's why we fall under the engineering manager. Team leadership, workforce management. I think just now Prof. Yap already shared with you a lot, isn't it? So about the team management. Okay, so how you arrange your team. You can get a lot of engineers into your project, but whether they can work together or not. M&E and CNS, do you know that they always fight? Safety, especially safety officer, you see, all the engineers don't like safety officer. True or not? When engineers say that tonight I want to cast, safety officer come, where is the safety precaution, the protection? No, cannot cast. Okay. We are from the same company. You ask me to stop. Director here, then we have to ask the director already. Cannot. No choice. When they stand at that position, they got no choice. They have to tell you to stop, safety officer. Isn't it? That's why always we have a lot of argument. Last time I worked also the same thing. And one good thing about my project manager is don't bother about the safety officer. Just proceed only anything I'm responsible. Then we just do only. But of course that's not the good things to do. Okay. But part of the engineers, okay, then you managers, then you have to know how to do all these team buildings as well. Okay, to unite your team together. I met one of also Malaysian constructions. the Binastra Holdings, perhaps I might be you're not familiar. So it's a first port company in Malaysia as well. So I know the boss, the COO. So actually, I just met him last month only. So he came to me. So he asked me at the time, I get to know that you did the team building because I'm the Utah Institute of Civil Engineer students chapter. So my students they organize the team building always. Every year also we have. So surprisingly, the boss, the COO, he joined. He sponsored us, and actually he joined our camp together with the student, and he get impressed. He said, "Oh my goodness, your students all they come from a different background. Okay, they don't know each other, but when they join after the camp, they have become very good. So they get impressed, and then he asked me, Dr. Tan, can you help me to do this event or not? Do for the company." I said, "I never do for company. I do for students a lot, but company never." He said, "No problem. You can help me." So I was thinking might be in future, who knows, I can help him to do. Okay. Why I say so is because he always say that his project, he has a lot of projects. Project A people and project B people, they cannot work together one. Project A want to borrow scaffolding. Project B say no, cannot. Even though the scaffolding they are not using, they leave at the store, they also don't give them. Okay, because why? They have their own team over there. They are not, don't have the connection together. So of course, humans is like that. I don't know you, why must I help you, isn't it? So that's why it changed the strategy. Okay, he go for all this team building, let everybody know each other. And now different already. He said that, oh, the project manager A and project manager B, right? Anything that one call me, they can settle everything. No need to go through him anymore. So this is how, as a manager, okay, we have to go for that. We have to see how we can ice break the team, okay, to make everyone know each other. Then it's actually easy for you to work already. So that's one of the team leadership. Of course, others is actually how you're going to communicate. Means that your stakeholder, for example, this one you can involve government also. As a managers also, sometimes you have to liaise with the authorities, right, the consultant, the client, and so on. Okay, so all these are basically fall under the engineering manager task, but comes in with another one important. This one is under the project manager also, you can notice that they were involved for all this, but under the engineering manager, it comes with this innovations and technology integrations. This is something different compared to the project managers. Because why? You have to keep moving on. Okay, you have to keep moving on. Change yourself, how to adapt the new technology into the project, and to let your project to expedite faster and complete the work with minimum error. Okay, so that is how we use the technology nowadays. Okay, so that's why we are talking about innovations, technology, integrations, transformations, and also the engineering management. When we're talking nowadays, you must have the business mindset also. Why? Because when you sit at this position, even though you are an engineer or the manager in the different field, okay, you may need to have this mindset as well, because you are the person who is going to do the decision. Okay, so how you going for it? First, how you build your competitiveness. For those from business one, you will know what's the meaning of competitiveness. Okay, like ourselves, we are referring to two sides. One is ourselves, one is the company. Of course, we hope that the company are strong enough, competitive enough in the market. But how about ourselves? How am I make myself to be more competitive than others so that my boss can promote you? Of course, you don't want to be the whole life engineer, 10 years later also engineer, 20 years still engineer, isn't it? Of course, you want to be someone different. 20 years later, from engineer, you want to be the manager or the director, isn't it? But how are you going to change it? How are you going to increase your value, improve your value, or enhance your self-value? So that is where we need to move. That's why in this competitiveness, okay, in the company, I'm looking into the company itself. Basically, your company have the company leadership, company management, and also their company strategy as well. If I want to involve in a project, or I want to tender a project, you must know whether the project is profitable or not. Is it good for you to tender or not? First, it's not saying that whatever tender come to you and then you must take. Okay, you have to measure your company. Okay, how are you going to measure it? Any one of you know about this? What is SWOT? What is that? Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. Isn't it? So what's the purpose for this? Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. The purpose also strength, opportunity, weakness, opportunity, and threat. True. So basically, yeah. When we talk about SWOT analysis, it's actually we are looking into the two scenarios. One is about your company itself. One is talking about the global. Okay. So if we in this one, when you talk about SWOT, if let's say you talk about strength and weakness, this one basically is talking about your internal, the company internal analysis. It's about your company itself. Okay, that's why we call it as an internal analysis. Okay, so what you want to measure about your company, you must know what is your strength in this market. And also you want to know what is the strength of your competitors. Then only you know how to tackle the competitors. So how you identify your strength? Simple. You ask yourself, your company, of course your boss or the managerial level above, you have to ask, am I strong enough to compete with people about the machinery? You have the machine or not? Crane, tower crane, mobile crane, concrete mixer, concrete pump, you have all this. So when you do the tender that time, will you able to reduce the price? Compared to you hire from outside, definitely you're cheaper already, isn't it? You got all this machinery with you. That is your strength. Do you have the expertise with you? Construction, what expertise you need? Okay, planning engineer, you need engineers, project engineers, you have safety, who else you need? QA, QC, no. Huh? Design engineers, no need safety already now. Throw away safety. Or just mention, oh, okay. So you see, all these are the expertise. Your company have all this expertise or not? If let's say you have that, of course, it's your strength already. If you don't have, now only you start to hire, but you don't know whether the person can perform or not. That is another question. Okay, so you know about your strength. Your company finance strong enough or not to take up this project? So all this basically you need to know. Okay, so that when you do the tendering, the time you know what's the price you want to put it. Because nowadays I can tell you, those times when you tender a project, your profit can go up to 10 to 15%, no issue. Nowadays, if your profit can maintain within 5%, I can tell you it's considered very good. Isn't it? Nowadays, it's very competitive. So that's why you have to identify where you are. There is a reasons why we can comes to the strength also. We want to know about your competitors. What are their strengths? Oh, my competitor A, they are very, they have a lot of tower crane. Then I have to think of, hey, I I can bring in my tower crane from other side, from China, and modify cheaper, isn't it? And then still can get approval. Then okay, then you know what is their strength. That is my weakness. Then I overcome my problem. Okay, so I 知己知彼，百战百胜 means that I know about the opposite, then I know how to overcome my weakness. Okay, so that's your strength. So these weaknesses is what I say just now, might be some of the things that is not your strength at all. My company not sufficient money, not finance strong enough. Got the developer tells you, hey, I got this highway for you to build, but my company too small. How am I going to take up this tender? Isn't it? So that would be some weakness on myself already. I don't have sufficient staff also. So how are you going to overcome for this issue? Finance not strong enough. Then I go to CCC boss. Hey boss, we joint venture okay or not? So I take 20, you take 80, but you all the engineer you supply. Then from the profit itself, I take 5%. Then the balance one you take. Oh, can also, isn't it? So there is another way. So you understand about what's your weakness. So that's why you need to know about your company itself first. Then only you look into the influence from outside. Okay, this is about the SWOT. External, I believe that now these few weeks you guys aware about the trade war, isn't it? 20%, 50%, 100%, now 120, suddenly 200 for 50%, and suddenly I don't know how much I might be two days later, and then suddenly it's sky up to 1000%, who knows? So now you get the project, what you worried? You worried or not? You want to tender a project? Of course we are worried. Oh, by right, the steel bar 1 ton, how much nowadays? 3,000, for example. Okay, 1 month ago, oh yeah, 2,000 only. 1 month later, 3,000. And next month later become 5,000. You dare to take the project? So you have to analyze. Currency exchange also the issue. Okay, later trade war, US say that, hey, Malaysia, you side to China, I don't want to supply you, or you whatever you buy, I increase all the price 100% to you. Then your price all shoot up already. So this is the influence from the outside. Of course, there is a political influence. Okay, currency influence also the same things also. So that's why we need to know about where you be. Because you at the project, towards the end, you are talking about how much profit you want to get. Your profit all are depending from sometimes all these prices. So that's why you have to find a way. If let's say now we know that trade war happened already, if let's say now you sign a new contract, you have to be very careful already. Whether you still want to go for a fixed contract or those flexible contract. Means that if let's say any fluctuate of the this price, you follow the fluctuation price to tender. Then you have to go for that kind of negotiations. Okay. So if you manage to identify all these, basically it can solve your technical issue, your market issue, finance, and especially the risk. Okay, reduce all your risk. And at the end, actually, you want to know where is your market, who is your customer, your competitors, strength, value, innovation, workplace, and of course, importantly, is talking about your project efficiency and effectiveness in order for you to build your company's competitiveness. Okay, so basically, these are how we analyze the whole issues, okay, for the company. Okay, that's where when we talk about digital transformation, it's actually about the process, about the all area of businesses, how you operate it, how you deliver the value, and how you target your customer. That's why Okay, yeah. So this is some of the example about the beam. Okay, about the beam. So basically, you can notice the modeling of the beam itself nowadays. It can shows you the details in that inside the buildings, right? It's something like you feel like you are actually inside there and you can see all the things. Okay, but of course, when you want to develop until this stage, it's not talking about 1 day or 2 days. Okay, it's already take some changes since about 10, 20 years ago until now. Okay, so that's why you see when we talk about beam, it actually has gone through for many different dimensions. From 1 to these two already over, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It moved into a different dimensions nowadays. Okay, when you come to 3D, it's talking about shaping. 4D, it include with the scheduling. 5D include with the cost estimation. 6D include with the sustainability, facility management, and so on. So that's why in future, okay, now we actually reaching about 6D here is a lot of, we are doing a lot of sustainability things into it, and actually now they're actually captured with all the facility management applications. Why? Because nowadays a lot of companies actually when especially for those commercial building, okay, once you move or even though this condominium, once you come in, they will have facility management to come in to supervise to do the works ready. So the fastest way and easiest way is actually when you run for the beam the time, you're actually captured with all this information into it. Okay, but of course, in future, it will also include about the management, the safety also can put into your beam. And of course, lean construction. And lastly, it's about the, this one is what really? The control constructions. Realize? Industrialized construction. Huh? Sorry? Okay, so this one is actually, when you come to number 8, talking about you include with the safety. This one, lean construction is like a change, a process change, okay, to link all the things together. When you come to the industrialized construction, this one is totally different already. It's something like you can monitor with all your industrial works, now factory, for example. Okay, and then if let's say now you construct the things done already, the factory itself can actually use this one to monitor the industrialized system in the company itself. So these are the development for the beam. Okay, so of course, everyone's still moving towards on that stage. Of course, we try to expedite all this work so that it can simplify the works in future. Okay, those times when you want to, my time, okay, don't talk too long, my time. When I do the coordination drawing, I tell you how I did it. Okay, I have to take architect drawing, CNS drawing, and M&E drawing. I have to superimpose all the drawing into one drawing. Then afterward, I have to go through line by line, see where is the place got a lot of clashing. I have to cut that place. Then I draw the cut section. That is my time. But nowadays, like just now I show you with the video here, you don't need to cut anymore. It shows you everything. One click setter. Would it be easier? Very easy, right? So these are the transformations. You can, you don't want to change, still can, then you draw. If you want to change, then this would be the methods how you're going to move into it. Okay. Yeah. So of course, under the beam, okay, they have a many category. Okay. So like for example, when we talk about the level of development, in the beam itself, they got categorize it. So when we talk about LOD 100, it's actually it give you a conceptual models of the drawing itself when you come up with the drawing. Okay. So when you go for LOD 200, so basically this is more detailed. Okay. It give you all the elements and equipment to be recognized and to be placed where is the location, what are the things it can be added into it. Okay. Then afterward, when you go for the LOD 300, then basically this one, it comes with the detail of the costing. Okay, means that you already captured all the costing into the system itself. It can tell you or come up with your scheduling, what are the things that you need to capture and then for the tendering. Or might be you already get the project, you already key in all the info about all the cost for each individual element. Then you can do the calculation. Every time when you do the tendering, the time, this claim, okay, monthly claim. Okay, so actually you can use this to come up with your monthly claim. Okay, so it's so convenient. So for LOD 350, so this level basically is when you need a lot of cross section or cutting, you want to look into more details, then you can actually come to these phases. Then for LOD 400, you can actually rotate the whole thing. Okay, rotations for the whole things for yourself, for these drawings. Okay, and then you can see how the whole thing works. So this is the detailed 500. Okay, so normally this one is something like you want to do the handing over the time. You want to see, okay, all the works that you have been done, is it accurate or not accurate, or any discrepancy inside there, or did you follow the drawings or not? It's almost like you come to the as-built. Okay, is it whatever you do as per the drawing? Okay, so that's why you can actually see all this. This one is how the beam categorizing the level of development. Okay, so that's why just now you see you have 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D until 9D. Okay, all this actually you're capturing different information, which is very useful in future as well. Of course, from now and onwards, not only future. So if let's say you can explore more into this beam, actually is an advantage to you guys as well. Okay, yeah. So that's why, in overall about the beam, okay, it's actually it helps to reduce all the conflict, especially all the clashes area. Okay, and it gives you some solution as well. Improve the productivity, reduce the rework. Okay, because why? From the visual, from the beam itself, you know where are the places are clashing. Okay, most of the time in a project, okay, sometimes we might lost a lot of money is because you have to do the come back and do the rework, isn't it? Sometimes we say that, oh, the drawing or this one I want to cast, and then I draw the I put the formwork and then the steel bar, everything, okay, according to the drawing, and then why suddenly this column and the beam is like not at the same direction? I mean the same grid line. So your column might come out a bit. Oh, now problem. You have to seek consultation from the consultant. Okay, seek the advice from consultant. So ding dong, it will take you 1 or 2 days, isn't it? But if let's say you can capture it in the early stage, then this thing will work. So in another way is actually it helps you to reduce your construction time also. Means not reduce. You don't want to go for LAD at all. Okay, but of course, also depending on what kind of contract you are entering as well. Okay, because in some of the contract, if let's say it's an additional work, then you can claim a VO. But some of the contract is considered lump sum. You cannot claim VO, then it will be disadvantage to you if let's say you are the main contractor. So it's a good thing for the main con to look into this method. Okay? Yeah. So that's why you see, although BIM is actually come up with all the idea how the whole thing works, okay, in visual way. Okay. But when it comes to construction work, we also hope that we can find a way that can expedite our construction progress. So that is where IBS comes in. Okay, so this one is more into the automation and robotic. Of course, IBS is not a new term nowadays. Okay, it has been happened for a long time. Okay, but IBS always have a new thing comes in as well. Right? So IBS, of course, industrialized building system. I believe that you guys quite familiar with all this. So it's actually start from the design, production, delivery, installation, and then complete all the whole thing with the process. Okay. So this is another video that this video is actually from China. Maybe you have watched it before, but it's quite nice to watch here. Okay, so you construct a 10-story building in 24 hours. Okay, why no voice again? Very soft. Okay. Yeah. So this is some of the examples. So just imagine now the construction is getting faster, isn't it? So they are using the IBS. And one of the beauty nowadays, what I know is that previously they got one building constructed in China. I can't remember it's 20-story or 40-story really. And it takes about 40 days to complete the whole building. And surprisingly, the building can sustain 8 Richter scale earthquake. Just imagine, 8 Richter scale. If you look into our twin tower, I don't know whether still there or not. Okay, because Malaysia, of course, it's still there, but of course it would have a lot of crack lines already. Okay, but you're talking about with this speed, and with this kind of earthquake, the things is actually fantastic nowadays. Okay, so how it works is all talking about the change. Okay, yeah. So of course, is this industrial building system? There are many different industrial buildings. Okay, maybe some of you may not familiar. Okay, but I believe that if let's say from the construction industry, this one is quite straightforward for you guys. Okay, so it can be in terms of the framing. Okay, doing the precast concrete. Okay, it can be in terms of steel formwork. In this steel formwork, actually nowadays, I believe that it is quite less we are using the timber formwork anymore. Okay, so most of the time we will go for like aluminum formwork, right, or steel formwork, isn't it? Because why? One is cost effective. Of course, first time purchase is expensive, right? But afterward, because you can use it repeatedly. So actually, towards the end, it's also cost effective. Or then, of course, nowadays they have come with a new one. It's no longer with steel. They use the plastic formwork, prefabricate. Yes, correct. So all these are new technology. Of course, it's not using steel on it, but it still can give you a good aesthetic or the strength for the building itself. Okay. Other than that, you can use the fabrications, timber systems also is part of it, steel framework system, right? So all these are the new things comes in already. Those time I can tell you, you're talking about 20 years ago. If you even though the double-story house or single-story house, they're still using timber formwork. But nowadays, can you simply cut down the timber or not? The tree, you are not allowed. Otherwise, you cut one tree, tomorrow later the government will, the police will come to you already. Okay, so you can't do that. So that's why it changed. It changed to using the aluminium formwork a lot nowadays for the framework. And also it can last longer. Okay, you no need to worry about the termite problems. Okay, so all these are the changes. And of course, you have a brickwork, okay, brickwork system. And in terms of innovative, okay, then what is more, we're looking into the structure itself. Okay, but nowadays, most innovative things is something like this. And this one, surprisingly, I got it most of the information, especially from the Hong Kong. Okay, the reasons why might be Hong Kong, the houses is quite constrained. So that's why they have to find the way how to fit all these services into their room. Okay, so nowadays you can notice that they can come with a very innovative, I can construct all these things done in the factory, I move it, I hoist it, go to my house, pop, not even one day I settle. But if let's say now you're talking about those side of construction, how you want to do? I cast the floor, then afterward I have to break up the wall, then I have to do tiling, painting, then only I can put this frame, then only I can install my WC basin. How many days? If let's say one thing one day also, here you need about 10-20 days ready, isn't it? So you cut short the time. Okay, of course, other than that, of course, the kitchen. Okay, nowadays Malaysia, some of the project also they're using this method already. Okay, because I'm wondering nowadays, I also don't know Malaysia got so big land, but the house getting smaller, getting expensive. My goodness, now one condominium can cost you about 900,000, but the unit getting smaller, 600, 700 square feet only. But of course, in Hong Kong, you're talking about 600, 700 square feet. Oh, that is the luxury condominium already. Am I right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, in Hong Kong.
Actually, this system, right, in Hong Kong, we started about 5 or 7 years
Yes.
ago. We call MIC. So everything is modular in China, transport to Hong Kong, and with
Yes, true. But now Malaysia just start within these few years only. Because of the different culture, okay, also different requirement. Because in Hong Kong or China, I can tell you the house there is not like Malaysia. Oh, 1,000 square feet, only about 600,000, 700. In Hong Kong, if let's say you can get 1,000 square feet house, you consider as a top class people already. You're very, very rich. Not very rich, it's very, very, very rich. Maybe next time we can go to visit him already. So that's why things change. In Malaysia, it start changing already. Okay, they actually go for the modular. And of course, some areas they go for the fabricated this staircase. If let's say your house is maybe your house is double story, okay, but your second floor, right, is quite I mean the headroom is quite tall, then actually you can think of putting this thing because it's quite lighter. You just put, you no need to like, oh, I have to hack, construct the column, beam, cast again, and then only do. It's quite difficult. So there are top people put in enough. And this one is currently, I see a lot, even though double story also they put this ready. This is the escalator. Okay, so it's quite easy to install, not very difficult. Okay, but one good thing is actually this one is for those elderly. Those elderly always say that I have to stay at the ground floor. I cannot climb up, isn't it? And now no more already. They can go to the first floor to sleep already. Because all this actually can help them a lot. Okay, so that's why, of course, when designing for all these IBS in Malaysia, okay, so actually they're following with the standards of this construction industry standard under this CIS. Okay, but of course it will have a detailed explanation about this how to score for this. If let's say your company using the IBS, of course I'm not going to touch too much because this is a Malaysian standard. Okay, and one good thing is actually still, if let's say you want to use for the IBS, the important one still is actually the government itself to there encourage the industry to use it or not. Okay, the participants of the government still is a crucial. If let's say government don't push the industry to move to use this, I can tell many people that they won't move towards that at all. One of the beauty of IBS also, actually, if you look into the long term, right, it can actually help the government, help the country to generate the profit also. Okay, and also in environmental point of view, it's actually you can protect the environment quite good as well. Okay, so that's why in Malaysia we have some government's policy, the incentive from the government. Okay, if let's say you use the IBS, adopt the IBS method, actually they give you some tax exemption, give you some if let's say a project, lower public project and private project, then they have certain score for you. It's something like a award to your company so that you can show shows to the client, okay, to when you tender for your project. Okay, it kind of recognition. Okay, yeah. So of course, another things why we go for the IBS is actually the labor issues. Okay, that's why no choice, we have to move, right? That's why you see, even though those times you want to draw a drawing, okay, one project you have so many people help you to draw drawings, isn't an architect or CNS drawing, right? But with the IBS nowadays, with the system, okay, you have AutoCAD, okay, if let's say you use this structure design software, you have Orion, Steam, all this software to help you. So one person can settle everything. One person can draw 20 floors drawing, isn't it? But for those times, no, you need drafter. Okay, one engineer, one drafter or two drafter help him to draw the things out. So all this you have to move. So same thing, why we want to, if the government want to implement the IBS is because the labor is not easy to get nowadays. Okay, especially still after MCO, a lot of things also expensive. Those time before MCO, I buy one duck only 40 ringgit Malaysia. Now after MCO, one duck 80 ringgit. I also don't know why it increased 1 times higher. So that's why no choice. Okay, so that's why we have to change. So we go towards the IBS. So IBS is actually one of the way how we keep changing ourselves. We see the issues now what happened or in future going to happen. We tackle it. Now we have to start to move, to change it. Okay. Yeah. This one actually, why I want to share with you is actually talking about the 3D printing building. Okay, I'm wondering whether you see it, but actually Malaysia now start to look into the 3D printing as well. Minutes. example about the 3D printing now. There's actually some of the companies they are using right now. So far, I know that one of the projects they are doing right now is in Malaysia, East Coast Malaysia. So actually, they are printing the single-story building. Okay, but soon later in future, I believe that we got to know that our Malaysian government that actually they start to look into the 3D printing for the building as well. But they're still focusing might be those low-cost house for the public, especially for the rural area. Okay, yeah. So actually, now they have a discussion about this as well, but it's possible, but we have no idea how to go for it. But we have one research going on. Actually, in my university, they got come up with one research about this, how to sustain for the loadings. So at the beginning, the time they're thinking that might be they want to add on the steel bar into it, and then they start to do the printing. But unfortunately, I think they cannot go for so high yet for time being. Might be about 2 story like that only. So if possible, but just in terms of times how they can introduce something a bit stronger, might be the material. Now that actually they got another research they are doing right now is what kind of material they are doing for the printing. So they are thinking might be this material can actually come up with as strong as the concrete. So hopefully this can make some, or else might be in other ways. It's actually they still go for the framework, but other things they go for the printing. So means that you do the external, but internal they will print it out. But still, it's a long way to go now for that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, this 3D printing actually is waterproof. Waterproof. When you see the printing, the time it is not printing in a very thick layer. It's actually in a very tiny layer. So it comes with a lot of layers one. So it's almost like closing all your gaps. So actually they got tested. It's actually waterproof. Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome. So hopefully, I hope that my university got come up with a new research that really can sustain for 10 floors. Then, wow, I tell you, I can make profit already that time. So that time I have to search for the director, Mr. Duang already. So see whether he want to get from me, hire me to be the engineer there or not already. Okay, so let's continue. Okay. Why cannot move? Okay, so these are some of the emerging constructions that I share with you. Okay, about the 3D printing. Okay, and of course now we have the virtual reality methods. Okay, so to see how the whole buildings looks like. Instead, even though you no need to have the model at the front, you just wear the things with you. Then actually you can see how the whole thing works. Really, it will project it out, and you can see. Okay, so that's why in the construction, another thing we look into it is actually talking about the smart sensor. So just now we talk about IPS, then we talk about beam. So we talk about the smart sensor, which are quite useful nowadays, how you're going to monitor for your project as well. Okay, so of course this drone, again, this morning got drawn. Now I also have the drone. So of course, this drone is quite useful, frankly speaking, especially when you come to the construction. Okay, those time like what Prof Yap just now mentioned. Those time when you want to do the profile of the land itself, you have to go to find the leveling or theodolite, and then you have to shoot here, shoot there, and then you keep recording and then do the calculation, isn't it? But now there's no need. I have one drone, I can draw the whole thing out. So it's so easy, okay, the drone. So I can draw the whole thing out. I can train it. I can see where is the things, how the profile of this area looks like. So like this one, for example, okay, you always do the monitoring. Like Prof. Yazazan mentioned, I want to see the whole site. I have to walk until the highest floor and then take photo. Now no need. Okay, you have the drone, you go up and then you can take the video and then you can see. You can work as a safety officer also. You give the name for the drone as a safety officer also can. Because why? It can help you to see where is a hazard place. You spot where is a hazard. Hey, here, wait, there's someone not wearing helmet. Who is it? You zoom in and see. You not wearing helmet. I'm going to find you. So you do the monitoring. Okay, and also you can see how the progress of this area. Okay, instead of those time you have to always climb up. I don't know whether you got time to climb up or not. If let's say you have to every day climb up for 20 story, then it's good thing also like you can exercise first, isn't it? Otherwise you got no time to exercise. So the drone is so useful nowadays. You can use it for the site monitoring. You can use it for your daily or monthly reporting. Okay, safety wise, you can monitor the hazard to prevent the accidents happen and so on. So other than that, you also have the handphone with you, right? I believe that now every one of you has the handphone. You can use it to monitor your site work. I believe that in this stage here, all of you are coming from the different countries. Okay, I believe that you're still doing your office work. Some of you, right? No choice. So how? Handphone. Suddenly one message come in. Sir, I'm facing this problem. How to solve? No choice. So my boss give me leave for these 20 days, but I'm still working. Officially say leave only, right?
When I was coming to this trip, my boss said, okay, enjoy your trip, but be available for.
Enjoy your trip, but be available. See? So now you know that how multitasking you are already, right? Although it's called on leave, but not really leave, right? So now very useful. You can use your handphone and then you can do all the work. That's why you see on leave and no on leave almost no different already nowadays, because you have to use your apps to do the monitoring. Of course, your boss will be very happy, isn't it? They will hope that more apps coming out also, isn't it? So that you guys can do more things, although you're not here. So that's why sometimes in these digitalizations works, right? You can you can monitor your site diary inspection and so on. Now I can tell you, even though you have e-form, right? When might be your engineer need you to sign, okay? You no need to go to the site or no need to fax to you anymore. They just send you WhatsApp. You open, electronic signature, copy and paste, you return back to them already settled. Isn't it? How many minutes? Not even 5 minutes. You settle for one document. If those time, I need to go back office, I have to print it out, fax to the fax machine here, and you go to the fax machine tag and then come here only you can sign. Isn't it? So all these things has changed. So that's why you can also, okay, those time, this one, I want to show you. Do you know what kind of drawing is this? Blueprint. Do you still receive blueprints drawings or not? I still receive. Sure. Oh, I thought it's my generation's only. How you feel when you receive the blueprint? How you feel? No feel. I tell you, when I receive the blueprint, the time I feel very excited. Very smelly, isn't it? You never notice the smell? No. And then what kind of blueprint are you using? I tell you, Malaysia last time when I received this drawing, I tell you, the ammonia smell, very strong. If you put 10 drawing over here, I can tell you it will be fainted. But no choice, those signs like this, you have to print it out. You use a tracing paper, then you have to use blueprint. You cannot use other print to print it out. But nowadays, you still use no more. Anything change? Okay, you tell the consultant. What consultant do? Message you, WhatsApp to you. Chop chop. Okay, follow this drawing. Right? Those times you have to wait for 2 days. The drawing only reach to you. Now 5 minutes can reach you already. Right? You tell the consultant, oh, got discrepancy. 1 hour later, the drawing already reach you. Those times you find the discrepancy, you tell the consultant, you send the drawing to the consultant draw, then afterward he send to you. The one thing you 2 days already. So you see the times different. So have to change. So that's why technology, we go for technologies nowadays. Okay, that's why your boss asks you, you're on leave, but don't turn off your phone. That's the reason. Okay. So other than that, I don't know whether you come across this or not. Okay. Some of the casting area, even though previously I think about 1 year ago, okay, if not mistaken, 1 year ago. So one of the project site, they want to monitor about the curing process about the column. So actually, how we did, of course, I'm not going to stand there and wait for it, isn't it? So we embed this sensor. Of course, this sensor very cheap on it. You embed, you cast it, then we monitor. So how you monitor? Those times I have a big equipment. Now I have a handphone, I can monitor already. I go to Turkey, also I can monitor. No need to be in Malaysia. What is that? Yeah, you are on leave, but don't turn off your phone. Okay. Yeah. So all this has changed. That's why all the things go so fast. That's why those times 36 months it cut down to 30 months, now cut down to 20 months for you to complete. So that's why you have to go for all this. Okay, so that is where the digital transformation in term by looking into the construction side, we go for all these things right now. Okay, let me see the time first. Oh, okay, I need to cut short already. Almost no worry. I think about another 10-15 minutes done already. Okay, so yeah, so that's why we go for this. Then another one actually nowadays quite famous is this. Any one of you not using? Oh. Not using. Never use ChatGPT.
Oh, using.
Very useful, right? Are you a lawyer or not? No, right?
Lawyer?
Not lawyer, right? But you can write like a lawyer.
But when we need to write a letter relevant to highlight some clauses that no need to go to the book. Yes.
Yeah.
Inform you this is clause and clarify.
Yeah. So you see, you are not the lawyer, but you can come up with the lawyer letter. That's why you see, engineer. Next time, you're not the engineer, but you can write like an engineer. But doctor, I don't know yet. I'm not the doctor, but I don't know whether I can do the operation or not. But who knows? Possible. Because that day, I think about 1 or 2 months ago, I just watched a news. Okay, it's whereby in China, that actually there's one patient in, I think in Russia, if not mistaken. So the doctor is from China. The operation is actually monitored in China, but there is one machine in Russia to do the operation. See, I don't need the doctor anymore. I don't need doctor at the other side, but in my side, I can do the operation already. So just imagine in future, might be you no need doctor also. Because why? All this machine, they're actually keeping all this data. Right? Big data, always we talk about big data, isn't it? But what's the purpose of big data? Because it wants the system to learn. At the end, they keep learn, fail. Then at the end, they know how to do for that already. So next time when it comes to operation, I can tell you it's possible. You no need doctor anymore. So that's the changes. So this is how the ChatGPT comes in. Of course, most of you, I believe that you have experienced it. Now we have DeepSeek also, isn't it? But DeepSeek I not yet really go and explore yet. So I think it's a good time for me to explore already. So it's got chance also you can try for that. So this is some of the example. I think I don't want to go for this one. I just go a bit faster. Otherwise, I don't have much time anymore. Okay. So then AI learning. This one is a drone survey. So means that it's something like showing you the drone fly in and then it start to do the drawing. Okay. Yeah, so some info. So that's why in future what we need to do is actually we have to look into how we leverage all this construction technology. Okay, definitely we cannot run away. Okay, but of course, if I say I want to move towards IR 4.0 or the digital transformation, still one thing we always come to ourselves: are we willing to change or not first? Is a company want to change or not first? Of course, sometimes we want to change. If the company don't want to change, also no use, isn't it? So of course, this one I believe that today mostly are all the top management people. So still, I have to ask everybody: would you willing to change? Because if you don't change, I can tell you, soon or later you will be abolished by the industry. So no choice, we have to change. That's why I still remember last time, before MCO, there's one game called Pokemon. Heard about that, Pokemon, right? That time I never play. I don't like to play games. One funny thing is every time when my class finish, I say, class rest for 10 minutes. Boom, suddenly all missing already, all the students. All run, and then I was surprised. Last time also never happened like that. And suddenly all missing. And one beauty is all is going to one same place, going towards one staircase area. All will run into the staircase. I said, what's happening at that staircase? Every time I say break, everyone go to the staircase. Then only I know, that side got Pokemon. Then afterward, I learn. I go and play. I download the apps, and then I learn to play the Pokemon. Then at the end, I know what's happened. So every time when I sitting in the class, you can notice that sometimes the students when they sit that time, their eye looking at you, but you can see their hand is like that one. So I always say that, yeah, class, okay, yeah. Although you look at me, but your finger very hardworking also, left and right, left and right. If you want to catch, might be later on you continue. Okay, so I also learn from that. Okay, so that's why moving towards is actually how we're going to change ourselves. Of course, this is some of the challenges. Of course, important still the government policy and incentive. Actually, they are the maneuver to push the thing to move. When we talk about digital transformation, also a lot of things is actually from the government as well, right? So that's why we need them to move as well. Okay, so technology driven. Okay, the policy just now mentioned, right? And afterwards, this one is an important one. Is nowadays. It's actually a lot of time when we find the people to fill the gaps at time. Okay, whether there is a right person or not, always is a problem. Okay, that's why a lot of my friends are always telling me, nowadays I want to find the right person to fill the gaps. It's not easy. Why? One of the reasons you ask the youngster nowadays work from 9 to 5. Work OT. What they explain to you, tonight I'm not free. You ask him, then we arrange tomorrow. Tomorrow also not free. Why? Then he will tell you, my contract stated there 9 to 5 only. Then afterward, you thought that might be I want to share some ambitious with them. Okay, the company's vision to them. They will reply you one thing only. You like to draw a big biscuit. Have you heard about the word 画大饼啊? Or you heard the word 画大饼? Draw a big biscuit. What does it mean? Means that you talk a big round, come back nothing. Just visual only. So nowadays a lot of youngsters they don't go for that. So how you going? That's why I say that now the talent acquisition is quite crucial nowadays. Okay, but of course we still have to look into the different culture, different regions, religions, and so on. Also, of course, in Asia, I think we not yet come across like Europe country. They're really 8 to 5. But in Asia country, I believe that when you talk about OT, if let's say you give them some OT money, they're still willing to work. So that still is a good thing. Of course, must give and take. You don't always get take from the employee. Sometimes you have to give back, isn't it? If let's say you're able to share with them some of the vision in future, or let them feel that they are part of the company, okay, I believe that we would able to maintain the staff, okay, because now there are a lot of staff. Normally they will work for half a year or 1 month, then they will think of quit and then go to other company. But how you make them to feel they are belongs to the company, that is a crucial thing. That is where the company nowadays always look into it. That's why they come up with one program. I believe that many of you have heard about the apprenticeship. Okay, so this apprenticeship is actually nowadays in Malaysia, like YTL, like Gamuda, they actually those are the construction big construction company in Malaysia. They actually go for this program apprenticeship. So how that works, actually they get the student. Those are with quite a good result also. That actually they train them to be the manager. So they will tell them that, okay, you join this program 2 years. Okay, 2 years also you will get the salary, but in these 2 years, I will train you as the manager. So they will put you maybe 3 months in this department, 3 months in another department. So you go for rotate, then you learn everything. And 2 years later, you come back, you will part under one project. Okay, assistant means that you will be the assistant manager under the one project manager. Then you run for one project. Once the project complete, then you will be the become the project manager. So at least you can give them some direction, where are they. So that will be one of the method of how to keep all these people. Okay, so that's why these are some of the method of coming to the recruitment as well. Okay, so how you use, still we are talking about transformations. Of course, if you want to recruit the right person, okay, there are many ways. Because why? If let's say every day I ask you to sit there to interview people, I don't think you have enough time, isn't it? So how we go for it? We can use a lot of methods. Do the screening first, okay. Then afterwards, we can use some digital platform to do the testing. Means that do the evaluations. Okay, the person have to fill up certain question. Okay, then you will test him in terms of his character, behavior, and also the technical knowledge also. Actually now, a lot of companies, they're going for this way. Okay, so then shortlisted, then only they go for interview. Okay, so these are some of the methods. Of course, when we go for digitalization as well, one of the things nowadays is actually to show, okay, or to build your company branding. Okay, nowadays all talking about the branding. And you can't believe that nowadays, even though the youngster, the fresh grad, when they go out to work, the first thing they ask, the company got name or not? Name means that got brand or not? Is it a branded company? I never heard about your company. Where is your company? Oh, you are the YTL company. Oh, very big company. I want. YTL, the most also 2,000 work staff inside there already. How they can take so many, isn't it? So branding. So that's why some of the company I told them also, you try to get some of the brand. Nowadays a lot of brands comes in. You also don't know where the brand came from. Have you heard about the property, right? A lot of property agents, they will say, oh, what award, this award, that award one, isn't it? So why they need so much of award? At the end, I also don't know what award is that. Okay, they will have the first prize, the top selling award, and then don't know. So all these are branding. Okay, so that's why we can move towards how to keep up the branding as well. Then when you, at the same time, when you do for the digital transformation for your company, then we will say that is an enhancement or speed up your company to move into different direction or move to the another level. Okay, so in conclusion, okay, I believe that you guys know about all this handphone, isn't it? I started to use, of course, I started, you know the big bottle or not, last time the first handphone come out with a big antenna. If you don't know, later you go to the DRX, Motorola. If you don't know how the shape, right? You don't know how the shape, you go to the DRX, you see the building, then you will know already. The building exactly is looks like the Motorola. Okay, so those time, once you have the handphone, right, you will definitely put on table one. Why? Oh, that one is a recognition. It shows that you are the rich man. But nowadays, if let's say you still have that bottle, you dare to put on the table or not? Keep, or I don't know where I am going to keep it. So change. If you don't change, now Nokia no more, Kodak no more. So that's why in overall, okay, so digital transformation definitely is going to move ready. It moves towards the technology, productivity, improve decision making, etc. So that's why if you don't change, you will be like Kodak. Kodak, we know that it's famous in the camera. Now no more already. Nokia, once before very famous, but you can't find anymore. If let's say you still got all these handset, keep it, keep it for another 100 years, this will be the antique ready. Then that time you can sell more expensive. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so that's all from my side for this sharing. Okay, so hopefully in this transformation, we can see how we're going to move towards. Okay, then definitely we will go for another higher level for your companies as well, and also the company can go faster. Okay, so thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Guys, wait.
Wait first, okay. Yeah, I would like to take a photo with all of you, right? So yeah, where should I stand? Stand here? You know.